Hello everyone, Murtagh here with another great video. I'm here today to give you 5 tips and tricks that are guaranteed to increase your win rate in Playerunknown's Battlegrounds. Now I know what you're saying. Murtagh, there are hundreds of other videos on YouTube that are giving me tips for winning. Why should I watch this video? I understand your concern, so I'll just let my win rate speak for itself. Number 1. Where to land. First things first, you need to pick a good drop location. A good drop location can make the difference between a winning and losing game. Most people will try to tell you to pick somewhere with a lot of loot, the military base, George Pole, Mills of Power, and so on. These people are wrong. When you drop in a place like this, you'll be surrounded by other players who will all be chomping at the bit to kill you and take all your hard-earned gear that you've spent the last minute collecting. Instead, I recommend you drop somewhere like this. This house is perfect. It has everything you need. You might think there won't be enough loot for you here, but think about it. All the loot in this house will be yours. After looting the house, head in the bathroom and get in the tub, and then stay there for the rest of the game. If anyone comes in, shoot them, take their stuff, and then continue to sit in the tub. If you are unfortunate enough that your house is not in the play zone, the answer is easy. Simply leave and find another game. Remember, you can't lose a game you've already left. For squads, this tactic can be tricky, but still doable. Simply gather your friends and have everyone hop on in that tub, and no one leave the bathroom, no matter what. Number 2. Be aggressive. Just camping is not going to win you games. I was killed once by someone camping in a house, and now I hope all people who camp get cancer. What you need to do is get out there and get into firefights. The more firefights you get into, the less people will be alive. This leads me to tip number 3. Number 3. Kill the enemy players. Now we're getting real deep into it, guys. I'm about to tell you something that most of these YouTubers out there won't. In places throughout the game, you can find bullets, and even guns to shoot those bullets. You can even use these guns to kill other players. This gives you a significant advantage over your opponents that they won't see coming. Number 4. Aim low, not high. So you've gone out there, you got a gun, and now you've run face to face into another player. Uh-oh, now what? Conventional wisdom would tell you that you should aim for the head. Many Call of Duty montages speak of the 360 no-scope Elite Headshot 420, but I'm here to tell you that conventional wisdom is a farce. Where you need to aim is for their genitals. Watch now as I demonstrate. Here I am with a pistol and a volunteer. Here I am shooting their head. See? Nothing. It's no use. The thick skull bone is impenetrable. Now watch as I aim for the gonads. There. Now we're talking. Aiming for the penis deals twice as much damage as the head. If you're unfortunate enough to fight against a lady, this tactic isn't quite as useful. However, I have heard from an inside source there will be a patch coming from Playerunknown and the rest of the developers at Butthole Studios to increase the crotch damage to female players to make the game more fair. Number 5. Combat and movement tactics. I'm going to break this part up into a few different scenarios. The first is how to deal with snipers. Getting sniped at is a dangerous part of the game. They're behind a tree up the hill, and you're down there cowering like a child by a rock or something while the enemy is zeroing in on your testicles. What you need to do is take a lesson from nature's fiercest bird, the peacock. Like the peacock, you need to puff out your chest and charge in. Watch now in this totally unscripted combat scenario. Here I am, pinned down by the enemy. Then, like the peacock, I puff out my chest and fire wildly so that the enemy knows that I mean business. Then, the enemy simply runs away, frightened by my peacocity. On the off chance that you've puffed out your chest and the enemy still has not fled the battlefield, it's time to charge. A lot of the scrubs on YouTube tell you to run serpentine, which is darting from right to left as you move. In theory, it throws off the enemy's aim. The problem is, now everyone expects it. So what you need to do is run directly at your opponent. They're going to be expecting you to be moving side to side, so running straight at them is going to startle them and throw off their aim. Now for group movement tactics. The movements I've just described can win you countless solo games, but I'm afraid it won't cut it for squad play. For squads, we're going to take a page out of a different book, the Phalanx. For those of you who aren't history buffs, the phalanx is a combat tactic used by the Romans to great effect in their battle against Hannibal Lecter on Pelennor Fields in 2132 BC. Standing shoulder to shoulder with your brothers and sisters in Battlegrounds, you're practically invincible. You can all fire at will without any fear of friendly fire. If they start firing for your peckers, turn around as a unit and expose your pan to the enemy while marching backwards, turning your squad into an impenetrable fortress. Now you've got everything you need to know to win a game of Playerunknown's Battlegrounds. If you followed these tips exactly as I've just described, I can guarantee your win rate will increase, up to 100%. As a final tip, make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. This graph shows a direct correlation between people who subscribe to my channel and the rate at which they win games. And trust me, you're going to need all the help you can get out there on the battlefield.